So today's project, well, take a few days. I got parts coming in, but this is Old Blue. This is my 1957 Ford F-250 Stateside. We got it a while back. Bought it from a buddy in the oil field, and it had 39,000 original miles on it. And right now, we're looking at 49,889. The only problem is it has the 223 straight six in it, and was an awesome little thing. This motor ran great. This was one of our most reliable vehicles for the longest time. Go out, give it a few kicks, crank the key, and off you went. We did the number 6 cylinder intake rocker, or intake lifter, took a shit. So now it's a straight 5. So we're gonna switch that over to a 302 small block we got from Matt Frost. And then we've got a T5 transmission, and I ran the numbers on it. Technically it's out of a 2.3 liter turbo SVO from a 1983 Fox Body Mustang. Did some research, it says it fits. Might need some adjustments here and there, but that's what I got sitting around. I wanna get this thing back moving again. So right now, draining coolant, and we're gonna start pulling this thing apart. I just watched that first clip. That was first take, first try, unscripted. That's how you know it's gonna be a good damn day. Well, that's about where I got for the day. I'm gonna leave the bell housing bolts in for the moment, strictly because I gotta load this up on a trailer and trailer it over to my father-in-law's. He has a cherry picker, and that's where my 302 is and the T5 is. So I decided to take the intake exhaust mixture off, strictly because I think it'll be easier we can use those bolts for chains and find some over here to bolt to and yank her on out. But that's what I love about these old things. It was probably, I don't know, 45 minutes, and radiator's out, fuel's undone, obviously, power's undone to it, throttle linkage, the old school cruise control linkage. The only thing I left is the slave cylinder, which unfortunately is new. The generator I put inside the cab, but yeah, it's brand new, has about 1,000 miles on it. So I think that's where we'll end this one for the day, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, another day. We got the motor out, took the hood off, got that oily little 223 straight 6 sitting right there. I ended up getting a lot of this cleaned up. There was tons and tons of garbage, just grease packed nastiness. So came out nice and easy though. Took the trans off of that before I came out here, and we were able to fly it out with the bell housing onto that transmission. So the T5 transmission that I got from a buddy of mine was from an 83 Fox Body, and I was gonna see if I could make it work, but with the weight and it being a, flatbed, we do tow with this thing, I got real nervous with that. So I did find a guy that had a ZF5 transmission out of a 1990 Ford F-250 with a 302 bell housing on it, and came with a brand new throwout bearing setup in it. And the nice thing about this also, switching to this, is the 83 T5 was a linkage transmission. This 57 is hydraulic, that 1990 is hydraulic. So we won't have to come up with anything funky there. And let's check out the motor. I found a few things that I'm not too happy about. So these old Emerson, I believe, Urson valve covers had a plastic baffle deal, and a lot of it, obviously plastic gets dry and breaks. I cleaned up this side a little bit. I haven't gotten down in those. You can see there's still a piece there that I haven't gotten out. But what I'm worried about is, obviously, like I pointed on the other side, is the oil galleys back down to the pan. That one's pretty plugged up. That one looks decent. So I'm gonna start pulling. We decided we're gonna pull the intake. It's an Edelbrock Performer 289, you know, on a 302. But we're gonna pull the intake manifold. We're gonna pull the pan, see what we can get flushed out, kind of check things. I'll bring my camera over here and we'll scope it up. But I'm trying not to dig into this as much as possible so I can get a cheap V8 5-speed swap from the straight 6 4-speed with granny. So we're gonna pop this open and check it out. So we open this thing up a little bit. Looks extremely clean. Everything looks pretty new. It does have a double roller timing set in it. I tried running the numbers. It looks like it comes back from Comp Cam's double roller. Everything looks pretty good in there, but I still am not comfortable with the plastic down in the oil return galleys here. So I think we're gonna go ahead and pull the heads and just do new head gaskets and throw some ARP head bolts in it, just to be sure that we don't mess this thing up, because it looks like it was put together pretty well. So we're gonna pull the heads real quick and check out what's inside. So we got the pan off this thing, and of course I wanted to check here, and it has that plastic that was in the oil drain galleys from the heads. So I'm gonna try and clean some of that out and make it better. Got the oil pan gasket cleaned up off that surface. All rods and pistons look good. So get cleaning that, check back with you. All right, so we got the pickup tube all cleaned out, cleaned up it as well. We ended up opening up the pump that was in here, and it was pretty bad. So I went ahead, just replaced it to be safe. That might've been the problem with this thing, is I might have just seen some low oil pressure. So got that on there. Now it's time for assembly. Got a bunch of parts in today. Got the Fel-Pro gasket kit. I got the little 650 carb, picked that up the other day for this. Went with ARP head bolts. This is just a little retro, I don't know, weird air cleaner. It was cheap, Amazon. So we'll get this going, put some parts together and see how this thing turns out. By the way, this is all the material that I was able to dig out of that pickup tube. So yeah, that's quite a lot. So got her all back together, got the new gaskets in everywhere. Did the Fel-Pro, obviously on the bottom, those cork ones suck. Just quick made a fuel pump block off plate, get that on, get the water pump on, water neck, whatnot. Kind of got the carb just sitting up here for now. I got a spacer coming with extended bolts. Got the clutch pack on, flex plate, flywheel. Never mind, it's a manual. We'll do flywheel. And the Z5R transmission. But hopefully get this off the trailer, get the 57 in here, start swinging it in. We've got the Transdapt motor mount kit that's meant for the 50 something to early 60s Fords. So this thing will look pretty cool in there, I think. Did do the greatest job on cleaning anything up, but it's not as greasy as it was. This thing will see a bath once it's in the truck. Like I said, just a quick slap together deal, and we'll get this thing rolling. All right, we got the 57 pulled in, sitting next to Dan's 58 Pontiac Safari wagon. Got the motor hung, gonna swing it in there, see if that Transdapt kit works out. And yeah, I guess we'll see. Hopefully everything works out. All right, so we got the motor in, welded up the ears to the inside of the C-channel frame, threw the carb on, little 2-inch spacer,
It's gonna line up pretty nicely with the factory pedal setup right here. So pretty nice little jaunt there over. Might do a bar or something. We'll see there. Got the, kind of see it down in there. Got the trans in and everything lined out pretty damn well to the factory doghouse here. And that's still gonna go 1/4 inch forward. We don't have the trans slid all the way forward at the moment. So what I gotta do next is get some button up stuff up here, you know, distributor, water pump, alternator bracket, get fuel lines ran, got the little Edelbrock fuel pump cleaned up, mount that somewhere in there. Factory fuel went across the cross member back here, and it actually was over there to feed fuel in all the way around the motor on the straight six. So I'm gonna get rid of that whole side of things, come straight from the tank, petcock there, and then up over. But that'll be it for this episode. Stick around, we're gonna get this thing going, get some more parts and stuff done for it. If you're interested in measurements or where everything kind of lands, what we're using, go ahead and put it in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe. Thanks.